glad you made it. It's another So-So production. What day is today? It's Wednesday, June 2nd, 2021. That's right, boys and girls, ladies and gents. Welcome back. Hope you're all having a great week. We did it. We're here. And what did you just see before the intro? That's right. Saw a little bit of magic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's got nothing to do with me. That's just teamwork, making the dream work, baby. That's my brother doing his little bit of magic, man. That's what it is. And that's what I mean, man. Every time, like, we've talked about this before. Everything might seem like, some things might seem like, individual efforts, but I assure you nothing's done independently. Everybody relies on one another, and that was a little bit of the intro, man. That's what it is. I told you guys we're cooking, and that's what it is, man. Hope you guys like it. I happen to love it. It's just gonna take this show to the next level. It's gonna elevate it, give it some format, give it some, little bit of structure, if you will. So thank you very much. Thank you. And this is what I mean, man. People coming together doing good things, and I'm 100% appreciative of the people that I've got in my life, and everybody going out there and doing whatever it is that they do to inspire each other, help each other, get uplifted. That's what it is, man. And sometimes people don't even need to do anything, but they go out of their way to do something nice, and it goes such a long way. And this was my brother helping me out with a little bit of momentum, essentially getting things going. You know what I'm talking about? So thank you very much. And thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, whoever's been tuning in from the get-go, supporting your boy on the YouTubes, on the Instagrams, on Patreon. Thank you very much. If you're just tuning in and it's your first time coming in, checking out the show, welcome. What do we do here? We talk about everything and nothing. We try to have fun. Most of the time it's loosey-goosey, no agenda. We try to tackle different things, personal issues that collectively have an impact on all of us, and just try to make sense of it. Trying. I love it, man. It's so good. The graphics are amazing. The time and effort my brother took on this, man. It's been, I've been very, very excited to share this with you guys, and we're doing it. I'm so excited, you guys. We're halfway through spring. It's what, June 2nd. Things are starting to loosen up. Definitely the stay-at-home order was lifted today, so you can go out and do stuff. I've been going out and doing stuff regardless. A lot of people have been going out and doing stuff because a lot of these things, it's a little bit of things that you can't even really enforce. It's just like, let's ease all the restrictions. Let's get everybody back into the stores, into the shopping malls, into the gyms, into the churches, into the AA meetings, into the Pilates classes, into the karates, into the whatever it is that you're into, archery, this, that, and the arts and crafts, or farts and crafts, depends what you're into. Let's do it. Because I'm excited, man. It's spring, and we definitely need to open up. Things are still like, they said June 14th to 16th is the day when we're actually going to start, seeing some actual changes. But restaurants, I believe as of today, if I'm not mistaken, because I've been seeing them, man, they're doing that, they're doing the measurements, going around with the tape measures. Where's my extra inch? Can I get an extra inch? Who can't get an extra inch, dude? But that's what they're doing. Might be a lot of turf wars, I hope not, but that's what it is. Right now we're doing patios outside, still no indoor dining. Let's get it going, because I'm eager for things to open up, indoor dining specifically, because that means comedy clubs are going to be able to open up here in the GTA as well, so your boy can go out there and wet his toes or something, dude. I'm excited. A lot of stuff happening, a lot of stuff happening. Exciting changes are coming. We've been doing a lot, we've been talking a lot, we've been listening a lot, we've been creating a lot, and we're going to be creating even more, man. Yesterday I was walking down the streets as I normally do on my hands and feet, just going about my own business, listening to some music, trying to get inspired. I'm walking, but at the same time I've got my eye out for potential canvases, or a canvas, canvases, or can buy, plural. So I'm looking and I'm walking, right, and magic happens, dude. When you put it out there, you want something, you're like, man, just help me out with the tools and I'll put in the work, and boom, I got me another canvas, dude. It's massive. This one's actually larger than one that I recently found. So now I've got two big canvases to work with. Now I'm running a little bit low on paint, and it's a bummer because I've been looking to go inside a store and like find something suitable that I can use as a primer, but nowhere's doing that indoor shopping yet. So I had to resort to the online shopping, dude. I had to order a bottle online, and it's going to be arriving hopefully by, fingers crossed, Saturday. And who knows, man, we might just get a little bit of, a little bit of painting going on the weekend. Priming first. And again, we're not in a rush. Got a few ideas that I'm cooking up right now, but definitely going to keep you guys in the loop. That's right. Man, as I'm aging, I'm getting older, and that's what happens, dude. You age and you get older. It kind of goes hand in hand, one day at a time. Trying to make sense of it all, and still got to remain patient with a lot of things. Got to come in, do the work, but it takes all of us, right? Collectively, it takes all of us. There's a lot of, so many things we could be focusing on, but a lot of times I think we should be tackling the issues from the root, right? A lot of this, a lot of things were, they got highlighted during this pandemic. A lot of things that were just bubbling under the surface got exasperated by the pandy. Am I right? This guy knows what I'm talking about. Am I right? Yeah. This guy knows what I'm talking about. Haha. You guys out of town? Yeah. Small talk with the folks. You gotta, just make it work. Crowd work. How long you guys been married? Oy. Working on it. Things that I gotta ask people when I get up there. Oh, is that your car parked outside? Nice car, dude. Again, working on it. So bad. But you know what I'm talking about, dude? The crowd works. You picking on couples and shit, it looks so fun, dude. It looks so fun and funny. Not in a in a mischievous way. And we'll have fun. We'll have fun. I promise you guys will have fun. Punches will be thrown. Punches will be taken. Nothing below the belt. Keep it clean. Oh, you guys out of town. A lot of things are changing though. But we need everybody to just come in here and get it together. Pull our resources together. That's what I'm talking about, man. A lot of issues got exasperated, and I think a lot of issues need to be talked about still. We don't want to be going back to the normal that we had going on, because that's what got us in this position in the first place. Issues that I want to be seeing talked about, and actually, I want to see changes implemented. So I want to hear you guys out there, the leaders, the people, everybody. What do you guys think about this, man? I've been talking about this for some time because it's a huge, huge concern of mine, and I know it impacts everybody else out there, and it's that housing market, dude. What are we doing about the housing market here in Canada, at least? I can't control other nations, other states, but we can focus here, and it's gotten out of hand. But I am hearing discussions now of things getting a little bit of attention. As I read in an article that it takes approximately 280 months for a person to be able to save up for a down payment for a little tiny place in the GTA. 280 months, man. What's 280 months? What's 280 months, you're asking? It's 23 years, dude. That's magical Michael Jordan number, 23. Not related, but kind of. It's a lot of years, 23 years, and that's just to save for the down payment. So realistically, who's gonna pay that off? You're probably gonna be dead, you're not gonna pay it off. Maybe your kids will pay it off, and who knows? That's if everything's like smooth sailings, right? If you don't have any hiccups in your life, if you don't have any emergencies, if you don't have upheavals, if you don't have any, curveballs thrown your way. If everything's smooth sailings, you might be able to, afford a down payment in 23 years and then hopefully die in time so that your kids can pay off the mortgage. That's the dream, essentially. So let's work together. What are some, what, and everybody's like, well, how do we got to think about ways that we could figure out how to like solve it. Nobody's got the answer, but I'm pretty sure some of us, if we get together, just ideas, spitball ideas out there, and actually be willing to try things and step out of the box, step out of this like rigid mindset that only revolves around numbers and digits, because we've given way too much value to numbers and digits. At this point, it doesn't even matter, dude. Numbers and digits should be of assistance. Mathematics should be helpful to people, not, just hindering people's social development. And you need proper housing. Why am I talking about this so much? Well, because in Canada, your boy does a little bit of digging. That's what I do in my spare time, that I do a little bit of research for this, that, and the other. Been looking at the numbers, and the numbers are staggering through the roof, dude. It's nonsense. That's what it is. 235,000 homeless people in Canada right now. That's right, you heard it. Let me just say it one more time. 235,000 people. Let me just say it one more time, because you may not believe what you're hearing, but 235,000 homeless people in Canada right now. Every year, roughly 25,000 new people fall into that category. And of course, there's always, people falling into the category of being a homeless person and, trying to get themselves back up on their feet. But a lot of times people just, once they hit those circumstances, it's very hard for them to get back up and reintegrate into society. And we need to do everything in our power to make sure that a country like Canada does not have 235,000 people living on the streets, dude. It's nuts. You know how many people I've seen on the streets over the past year, and it's gotten worse, and we need to do something about it, and we need to do something collectively. So you're always like, well, what do we do about it? Is it certain things that go hand in hand, man? Well, like, we got a ton of resources, we got a ton of land. It's like, who owns the land? So it's just like Googling them land ownerships. And it turns out, gets turned, bro, gets turned. Who owns a lot of the land in Canada? Still to this day, apparently 90% of the land is owned by the Queen, dude, by the Queen. She just sitting up there in the UK owning lands. It says Crown land and it's under her name, apparently. Only 10% of the land is actually public land. The rest of it is Crown land. Certain things that go hand in hand, not related, but kind of related. Why don't Canada, why don't we pull it together? Why don't we have our own currency? Why do we still have a picture of a queen of another country on our currency? And like, what the head is, what's crazy, dude? I forget what it says verbatim, but on the back of your Canadian passport, like in case you go missing or like, you get lost somewhere in the world, and if they were to find you and for some odd reason you didn't know how to get back, or like, find your way back to the homeland, the motherland, it says return them to the, like, and I'm like butchering it, but essentially it's like return this person to the Queen, as if like or not return them to the Queen. Again, I'm butchering it, but it's like it's just like we still have this, like, there's still a little bit of that, like, I don't know what it is. Do you want to call it like a colonial past? Do you want to call it like imperialism? Whatever it is, but like, we're an independent nation. We've been a nation for some time. Why don't we have our own people on our own currencies, if currencies are going to be a thing, because like money's evaporating by the day? But we can still print them, hypothetically, if you were to just have hypothetical money. Why don't we get ideas? You're like, well, if we replace it, whose face are we going to use? Dude, let's go with animals, bro. How about the Canadian goose, the geeses, right? The geesies. Or how about them, them urban coons, dude. Urban raccoons, dog. How about them urban raccoons that we all love and like we adore from afar, of course, because they got them rabies. You don't want to get too close, but very cute animals. Or beaver. We got mad beavers, dude. They like making dams. Who doesn't like a good beaver? Get a beaver right on that money. We don't want to go with people, but there's a ton of people to like choose from as well. It doesn't necessarily even have to have a person's face on it. What's with that? Like, it's currency for everybody. Why do we have to have somebody's face on it? It's just makes no sense. It's really old-timey stuff. That's one aspect of it. So we do have a lot of resources and land, but it's just not getting used up properly. And even if we were to like, get rid of the Queen from the overall structure of our, because she still had a state, dude. What does that even mean, had a state? You're not even here, dog. Oy, gets my blood boiling a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? It's a little bit annoying, but at the same time, things that could be moving forward and things that could be improved upon. We could just, it's not a matter of how much money we have, it's not a matter of how much resources do we have, it's a matter of how is it getting allocated, how is it being distributed, and do we have any waste? And yeah, I believe we have a ton of waste, dude. A ton of waste. Different sorts of waste. And it's just, here's the thing, when the numbers have gotten into the millions of dollars for a little tiny piece of land and you're still making like 10 bucks an hour, like 14 bucks an hour, you're not going to win that race, dude. So we need to do something to uplift everybody. And through this past year, I guess we sort of kind of had a run at potentially working with a universal basic income. First, it was introduced in Canada anyway as the CERB, then it got transition into the CRB, and now there's talks of, are we going to have a universal basic income? Well, these are all things that need to be thought about and things that need to be implemented in order for everybody to be uplifted, in order for everybody to essentially have a safe roof over their head, because that's like basic essentials. You need to have a safe roof, you need to have a good environment to come home to every night, so you can start planning your life, so you can uplift yourself, so you can go get an education, so you start working other realms, getting other essential tools to add to your tool belt so you can better yourself and go do more, essentially. But if you're out there on the streets, being, facing mental health difficulties, most likely you don't have too many family members or friends that you can rely on. Most of the time you don't have too much of a financial backing. You're on the streets, dude. It's rough out there. I see it. 235,000 people, dude. That's no joke. That's 250,000. That's redunk in a nation like Canada. Ugh, we're falling short, you guys. These things to me are a far greater pandemic than the schmovid that we just dealt with. And that's coming to an end. But again, a lot of the problems that have been there from the get-go are just, we're so eager to get out there and socialize and do this, that, and the other. I don't want us to forget about those major issues, because, if we don't tackle them right now, we're going to be back here again in 10 years and be like, oh no, another major global depression, another this, that, and the other. I say, let's pump the brakes, let's slow it down, let's put certain caps on certain things, let's try to mitigate from every side. It shouldn't be so black and white that you all think, oh, we're gonna be just taxing the rich, take from the rich, and the rich get, you get really scared. You're like, no, I'm just gonna, not share, and I'm gonna, go build me a little castle and a little fortress with a little moat, dude, and keep you out. That's not cool, dude. Let's just sharing is caring, essentially. But we need to wisen up. One of the major reasons that we've got an overinflated market is because of foreign investment, dude. Foreign investment. What am I talking about? I'm talking about people that come in here in places like Canada, the US, the UK. I'm talking about Russian oligarchy money. I'm talking about chic money. I'm talking about that triad money. I'm talking about that, I'm talking about sketch money, dude. We love that sketch money. And Canada's kind of become a hub for money laundering. Let's just call a spade a spade. Our nation's wonderful, but our banking system really tends to favor the richy rich and not really ask too many questions. And then the next morning I'll get up and read an article that says today, as of today, June 2nd, it's gonna be even more difficult for the average person to get a mortgage. I'm like, when was it ever easy for the average person in Canada to get a mortgage? It's become even more difficult because we're like, well, we shouldn't be doing any, risky business, just giving out loans left, right, and center. And I'm like, you don't have too many problems when there's ample amounts of money coming in, and you don't tend to question who, where, when, how did it, how did it come into existence? But the average, and that's what it is, man, foreign money coming in, inflating the market. Not to say that we don't have domestic investors. You have your average day buyers, you have your generational buyers. That's normal things, those are healthy. But sometimes when you have an influx of foreign investment, it's kind of like a steroid injection into the system, because a population of 40 million people, we shouldn't have the housing costs that resembles a nation that's dealing with approximately 350 million and change in terms of people, talking about down south the US. Our prices have gotten out of hand. Does not make sense. And while we're on the subject of people, I do believe one of the other things that we should be concentrating on is that we should just somehow figure a way to reduce the cost of living in order to get our population going. You guys, Canada, you guys, we need to step it up. And I know your boy's got a different way of wanting to live his life, but at the end of the day, I think down the line, everybody wants the same, most of the same things, and it just takes different people different times to get on wanting to, whatever it is. Everybody needs to have access to start families, and we need to be able to have families, essentially young families. Right now we're 40 million people, dude. That's not too many like people. We need to really get it going, because there is definitely, here's the thing, the same with the US, man. I really think the US should be aiming for at least 1 billion people, and Canada, we should be doing the same thing, but I guess we're going to be growing at a slower pace. But Canada should be around, like, with the amount of space that we have, we should be aiming for 300 million people at least, to make everybody's lives easier, essentially. Everybody's always afraid of, oh no, there's too many people on the earth. Dude, there's not enough. There's not enough, and sometimes sharing's caring. It's just a matter of don't be greedy. If we had more people, we could all be working a little bit less. I'm talking, 3-day work weeks or 4-day work weeks. And there's been a ton of research on this too. It's great to be productive, but sometimes individuals are working so hard, 70, 80 hours a week, that they're tired. They're not, attending to themselves. They get sick, or they start to, neglect their family members. How many times have we heard the same story? So many relationships, so many marriages falling apart because of financial strains. I've seen it happen to many people, and that's one of the many reasons. That's one of the biggest reasons that I'm so hesitant as to why I'd like to start a family one day. It's just like, I got to get my finances straight first, and that's the thing. I think a lot of people feel the same way, but it's just we've created this atmosphere where it's extremely difficult for the average person. Not to say that it's impossible, dude, and I really do believe in willpower, going out there. And I'm a hard worker myself. I like being busy and I like working. But that's the thing. We need to make sure that we're creating a space where everybody's got room for growth. That's what it is. So a house that's going for 1.2 million for, we're talking 500 square feet, right next to me, dude, right next to me. It's ridiculous. I don't want us to crash the market, obviously, because I feel bad for the average investors, but if that happens, it is kind of like, I wonder if that's gonna, that's one of the biggest things that I've been thinking about, because I believe we're in globally speaking, we've all decided that we should be investing our money and time and energy into land, and that's the biggest thing that everybody's like. And it's good to have a little piece of land, it's good to have a little bit of autonomy, but we should be stepping away from the mentality of so much, ownership. You don't take any of this to the grave with you, but the amount of and that's the thing when I say have limits, because I've talked about this before, but I've seen it in the real world, where individuals having ridiculous amounts in mortgages, having 10 plus units, one person owning 10 plus units, and this is just one guy having lived a, relatively average life, experiencing different business worlds and what have you. But this is the thing. We have created a system where it's just been the money system, the banking system, it's only structured to benefit those that have a lot of money. And if you don't have a lot of money, you're just going to be spinning your wheels in the same place. And I don't want that to, I don't want that to be the case for me, and I don't want that to be the case for anybody out there. I want everybody to have a fair shot. Either we should somehow combine banks, governments should somehow be able to create structures or create programs where every individual can partner up somehow with the bank, with a government policy of sorts. I'm thinking outside the box. This is not a fully cooked idea, but we can come together and make sure that everybody has something to hold on to, that everybody has some sort of security. It's not fair that you'd have people, living up to their 60s, 70s somehow, and then retiring and still not having a roof over their head. That's not cool. And then having to rely on a pension, which is gonna not be enough with the rate of inflation, the cost of living and everything. And the pandemic, again, exacerbated everything. Now you'll hear, cost of lumber going up, cost of food going up, because, we'll get into that some other time, but the cost of everything, essentially, used cars costing more, everything is costing more. And it's like, shouldn't we be using our technology, shouldn't we be using our resources to benefit each other? And we definitely should be. These are rhetorical questions. Why we're not doing those things is it's absurd, it's beyond my grasp, but I think it's just literally a little bit of our tendency to act from a place of fear rather than love. And I think if we were to just like, want the same things that we want for ourselves for other people too, I think it'll go a long way. Literally 235,000 people, although it's a significant number, it's not something that we cannot tackle, and it's not something that we can't handle. And overall, providing housing should not be an issue, dude. It's just wood and lumber and a little bit of, a little bit of manpower, a little bit of work, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It should not be costing millions of dollars to acquire a home. Doesn't make any sense. And we need to invest overall. Canada, we need to invest in all the provinces too, man. It shouldn't just be, Ontario and BC, all the other provinces. We need to really put in infrastructure. We need to really put in development and really think about like using the land wisely. We got so much resources, but that's the thing. I want families to be able to start families. I want people to be able to have children if they want to, and not be stressed so much about the costs of living and what have you, because we got other things to worry about. We got so many other things to actually be concerned about, and we need to keep that balance, and we got to stay focused and do it where it counts. And it starts here on a grassroots level in our own little jurisdictions, in our little cities, in our little towns, in our provinces, and in a grand scheme of things, our beautiful nation that we call home. And we've had a lot of difficulties, man. A lot of difficulties in our past, in our present, and it will continue to go. Like if we don't face them, it's just gonna build up and pop somewhere else. So many things that are being brought to our attention, and it's not that we don't know. Some of us do know, some of us don't know. But again, the tragic news that was broken out, I guess, recently, 215 children were found buried at a residential school, 215 Indigenous children, and it's extremely sad, and it's disheartening, and it's a part of our past, and we need to face it. And we need to do more to help every community, specifically the Indigenous community. It's such a tragedy that we live in we got so many resources, we got so much potential, but we somehow neglect our own. That's what it is, man. That's what it is. And the indigenous community, I believe the last residential school was closed down in 96, you guys, if I'm not mistaken. 96. That's, what are we doing here? What were we doing? And that's not too long ago. I think the sort of related, kind of like the things that Indigenous females tend to be amongst the top percentage of, I guess, what I'm trying to say is Indigenous women specifically, they don't get enough support, they don't get enough help. There's always, there's a ton of murders, rapes, abductions, a lot of abuse goes on, and these communities just don't get enough resources. They've not ever had enough, and they continue to not have enough. And I think we should be just allocating more and paying more attention, and let's try to again tackle it. And I do hear rhetoric and I do hear talk, and it's good to bring more attention to these concerns. And it's just, it's essential, because we got to go back to the root of the problem. We got to really go back to a lot of things and face the truth so we can move forward, help each other out, And yeah, it just made me a little bit sad that 215 children. This is just, it sucks, but I bet there's more to be found in different regions. But we're talking about it. And you gotta find the silver lining, and the silver lining should be that, what are we doing? What are we doing to help improve each other's lives? Help improve the lives of the Indigenous community, help improve the lives of every Canadian, help improve the lives of our neighbors as well. You know what I'm like, and that's the way it should be. I want everybody to have that same mentality. Like, we should just be helping each other out. That's what I want to be seeing, and that's what I want to be doing, man. I hope to, through talking, through, trying to joke about a few things here and there through creating a little bit of artwork. I hope to be a little bit of a uplifting voice, a voice, not the voice, not just doing my little part. I hope to be of service somehow, and we're doing it, man. We're doing it. Thank you guys for all your love and support. But I do want to be talking about everything and sometimes nothing. So sometimes we'll hit on serious notes, sometimes we'll talk about silly stuff, but these things are very important, and it's just like I do need to be seeing more from our leaders. I do need to be seeing more from our, like, talk isn't enough. I need to see actual changes, all right? Because it's going to be hard for us to get behind you and want to go out there and vote for you next time, whoever you may be, if you're not actually, doing things to change the system for the better. I do believe we have a lot of good things, and I don't ever want to be throwing out the baby with the bathwater. We got so many great things going on, but there's a lot of room to be improved upon. Let's do it together, boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for all your love and support. We're growing every day. I'm growing as an individual. This is growing as a collective, so thank you guys, and I know you guys are growing out there as well. Every day, everybody, whether I see you on the streets, whether I see you on the internet, everybody's always constantly doing things, trying to make themselves better, trying to do positive. That's the majority of people. Let's keep going. Let's go after whatever it is that you're after. 100% support you, and I just want to send you well wishes and positive thoughts and positive vibrations. We're going to be back here again on Friday and Saturday. If you like these videos, go ahead and subscribe on YouTube so you get the full length videos. Follow me on Instagram, hit that like button. If you really want to support your boy so he can be more independent and help out more peepsies along the way as well, go on Patreon, click on the link on my Instagram page. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Maybe things need to be tweaked. Write me a little something. Make a little video. Let's get cooking. We'll be back here again on Friday, boys and girls. Stay safe out there. We'll talk soon. Peace out.